Right here. Down there. Substitute.
Check.
Check. Good morning.
All right. Ready to go? Oh, will I?
Yeah, are you ready?
Oh, will I?
It's a tune now.
Oh, I don't want to wake up my children, so I better stop singing now.
Wow.
Ready?
Pretty good.
Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Marriage Radio. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
Good morning, my friends. My name is Seth Studley. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. Welcome. Good morning to AOM Radio. Happy Monday morning to you.
Our show is real help for real couples because we had a really crappy marriage and we don't want that for you. So that's why we do our show every single day. And every single day, our show is brought to you by Anatomy of Marriage app. We made an app because we wanted couples counseling help that's fast, fun, and never boring. So we made it because we make the stuff that we want to see in this world.
That's why we made this dang show.
That's right.
It didn't exist. Everything else was not good. We made a good one.
Good morning, Bill. And we are live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube every single day of the week. And you can send your questions into hello@anatomyofmarriage.com and have them answered live on the show. And as always, we do 4 things every day of the show. What are those 4 things?
We pray together. We do an intention together. We share a gratitude, and then we answer 1 or 2 questions from the conversation starters from the Anatomy of Marriage app. So,
that's right. So let's jump in with prayer.
All right. You want to go?
Oh, sure.
Go for it.
Dear God, thank you so much for all of our blessings, Lord. Thank you for the incredible life-changing gift that the podcast has been for us. We pray that it continues to be helpful to our listeners and that we can just thrive and grow together as a community of people who love marriage, love relationships, love families, and love life. Thank you so much. In your name we pray. Amen. Woo. That's how I end all my prayers.
My gratitude today is thank you for working your butt off yesterday at the hot tub, pulling up them weeds, cutting those briars, all kinds of stuff.
Cutting them blackberries, man?
Yeah, you jammed it. So thank you for that. It's nice out
You
there.
are welcome. My gratitude to you is the same thing. You rocked it. You chainsawed that tree down. Y'all, if you didn't see that, we Instagram lived Seth cutting a tree down. I was so proud of you in that moment.
You were?
Yeah, and it wasn't, it's like I always say, like you do things that, it makes me so mad that you know how to do everything. And you're like, oh, fill this little tiki torch? No problem. Got this. I don't need to read directions. I know everything. And it's like
life experience, my love.
Well, I don't have it. And I love it.
You do have it.
But I'm jealous. But it makes me really happy. And I was very thankful that yesterday you're like, let's live stream this tree cutting down. And I'm like, oh man, all the things that could go wrong were like through my mind. But then it went great.
Who cares if it went wrong in live stream? It would still be great.
I'm not worried about it going wrong on live stream. I'm worried about it going wrong in general.
Oh,
but I'm thankful that you did a good job and you knew what you were doing.
Amen.
Okay. So do these things together. Do your prayer with your partner, do your gratitude, and then do your intention, which is basically the behavior you want to do with your partner that based off of what you're not doing well.
That's right. So sometimes we get caught up in intentions. I do especially. And I'm like, okay, I intend to do this and 7 Foot Hard and phase 2 and diet and all this stuff. And we get caught up and we take focus off of your partner, right? But the intent of this is to, how are you going to be a better spouse, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever? Bitchy Lou, what's up?
That's a great name. I don't even know, but it's great.
How are you going to be intentional to your partner, right? And I didn't think of one this morning, so I'm going to make crap up. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's ask it a different way.
Yeah.
How about I'll tell you what I want your intention to be for me, and you tell me what you want mine to be for you. You go first.
Oh, now you're throwing it back on me. Okay, I see that. So
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. So, 2 things. This has to do with physical touch and scheduling sex.
Okay.
It's Monday, so be intentional around that.
I'm glad that you reminded me.
You know what I'm saying?
Monday. Yes. I will be intentional around that, and later we will get it on. So my intention request for you is just presence. I love it when you're present and like you've been really present lately. I think after starting hypnotherapy, you're like the best version of you. It's like you're calm, you're rested, you're present.
Right.
And so just do more of that. Because you're kicking it.
In spirit and out of ego. Ego causes drama, baby mama drama, all kinds of other stuff. What?
No, just the bitchy loose that I found you guys from the Love Hour conference. I love you guys. The Love Hour conference. We should talk about it. We're gonna do a whole show about how great that was.
We're gonna jam on that in about 2 seconds. It was so amazing.
We are glad you're here.
Being in spirit, right? Being who you were meant to be, right? and being out of ego, right? Ego gets jealous, compares,
Right.
Compares yourself to others, says you're not enough, and all this other bull crap.
Boom.
And it's not a good space to be. And did I tell you that I am going to possibly go to a hypnotherapy training to be certified?
No, you're not.
That's right.
I said
There's a
whatever.
place in Issaquah. You do it for 6 days, and it's
In
not that
Issaquah?
expensive. That's right.
I love this.
So I'm thinking about that.
That's so cool.
Okay, so
You're gonna just
I don't know where
hypnotize
I'm
me
going.
all the time.
yeah.
So do your intentions, your prayers, and your gratitude with your partner every single day. But let's dive into the show because we got a question and it's a doozy. So it says,
Oh, right.
my husband wants more than I can give. My husband wants sex every single day. He gets it, but not the way that satisfies him. He also wants more than I feel comfortable doing. All of our arguments, and it says all of our arguments, seem to stem from me not wanting to have sex. When I bring it up, how it hurts me and how I don't want to do it, he says that I need to prepare, lube, relax, etc. I have so many feelings about that sentence. He says that's what he wants. We are at a stalemate. We don't get very far. He's very upset with me. How do we break this cycle of going nowhere? I don't want to upset him, but I don't want to be hurt either.
Okay, girlfriend.
Yes.
You want to go first?
I don't know. I'm angry.
So, all right. We have a whole series on sex. We recorded our own sex therapy sessions, right?
With Dr. Tina Shermer.
With Dr. Tina Shermer Sellers, who was awesome. And she talks about sex should bring connection, emotional connection, and pleasure.
Let's
right?
say what words she didn't say. She did not say that sex requires orgasm. Let's say it again.
Right.
What is sex supposed to do? Bring you what?
Bring connection and pleasure. But I'll be straight up. For most guys, orgasm, that is a huge part of it. For females, sometimes it's not, right? But for guys, it 100% is.
Sure.
Right? So, back to this question. All right. This is not healthy, right? Your husband's view of sex and what he wants and all this stuff is not healthy. And I probably guarantee that it comes from some trippy thing he's into, right?
Oh, or abuse or trauma or neglect.
Or past whatever, right? But he gets sex every single day, but not in the way that satisfies him. I'm not sure what that means.
I know what that means. I mean, I think there's a couple ways you could interpret it, but like if you're eating food and you gorge on like McDonald's and 2 minutes later you're like, I am still hungry. Or you're like, I want steak dinner every night. And you're like, well, I'm only eating French fries. I am still hungry.
Right.
Like he is not satisfied in any way. She could also mean he wants to do more things than she's comfortable doing.
That's what I'm saying.
But let me tell you what, that's not going to satisfy him either.
Right.
He has
Somebody
a problem.
says that is, in my opinion, is a form of abuse. And
it is.
As a licensed clinical psychotherapist, that is a form of abuse. Now,
say it again in a
not,
sentence because I need people to hear that.
Right. That is, it's unhealthy and borderlines abuse, right? And so we're not in their bedroom. We're not in their marriage, obviously. So I'm not going to like paint some picture of this guy as just a total douche or whatever. But this is sounding like it's a not good situation. When I bring up how it hurts me physically and I don't want to do it, he says that I need to prepare, lube, relax, right? So what I know from a woman and from you telling me stuff and also reading a wonderful book called Emily, well, it's
Come As You Are by
Come
Emily
As You Are
Nagoski.
by Emily Nagoski. This ain't working, brother. So please, I encourage, I don't know, you gotta do something different, right? And so I want to empower as a man to a woman, and then you're going to empower from another female to this woman.
Right.
Like, okay, I don't want to upset him, but I don't want to be hurt either, right? You are trading physical pain in your body to not upset him, to keep the homeostasis, to keep the balance, right? And until that pain is more than you can bear, outweighs the emotional pain and labor of trying not to upset him, then it's not going to change. So I want to empower the wife to be like, okay, no, this is it. You can go check out the clearing structure and even go to therapy, go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage, because this is a problem. when I read this question, first of all, the non-therapist in me kind of gets pissed, right?
Mhm.
The human in me is like, what? This is not right. And then the therapist is like, "Bup, bup, 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 red flag, red flag, red
Mhm.
flag, bup, bup, bup." It's going off, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I want to encourage the wife to, okay, you are going to say no. In fact, there is a sheet that I think I put out somewhere on our content. It's like a million healthy ways to say no.
I don't remember.
Have you seen that? Okay,
Uh-uh.
I'm going to post that today. Put me a reminder on there.
Yeah.
And it's not called a million ways to say no, but it's not my work. It's some from adapting something. But
Right.
it's thank you, but no. It's like a polite no that it explicitly states your point
Mhm.
and says, no, we are not doing that. I'm not mad at you. I'm not anything at you, but we are not doing that. And it's a perfect boundary setting exercise. Bill says every day is asking a lot, especially if it's penetrative sex.
It's almost impossible.
Perhaps he should try being pegged to get an understanding of what is going on. Let him prepare lube and relax. Right. Or let him go do his own thing for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Air 5, Bill.
Yeah,
Air 5.
So
That was so funny.
So this borderlines on possible sex addiction.
Right.
Possible maybe porn addiction. She didn't say anything about porn, but sex addiction. And this is a really interesting statement that the addict doesn't care what substance it is.
Mm-hmm.
The substance is not important. It's what it does. So it could be sex, heroin, meth, alcohol, food, anything. The
Shopping.
substance isn't important. It's the chemical cocktail that it creates to get your mind, get your spirit, get your heart off of. So dang it. No, don't finish.
What the heck? Ah! All of our stuff just freaked out.
Okay.
Did our
sorry
internet
about that.
just explode? Just keep recording.
I'm not sure. We'll keep on the podcast. So so I want you to empower and say your thoughts and feelings on this.
Were you done with that sentence?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I think one of the main things that sticks out to me is I'm going to ask the wife a question here. You said, when I bring it up, how it hurts me, and I don't want to do it, he says that I need to prepare, lube, relax, etc. And it says he's very upset with me. I don't want to upset him, but I don't want to be hurt either. Mm-hmm. You, my dear woman, my lovely, lovely woman, are sacrificing so much to give him what he wants. But what is this man sacrificing to give you what you want? Right.
And if it's some kind of bull crap of like, well, I make the money, or I do this, or I do that.
Shove it. That's what I say.
Eat some Duke, bro. I'm serious.
Eat all the Duke, bro. So this is going to sound so unrelated for just a minute here, but I had to have a conversation with our middle son the other night, or last night. He struggles, as I did for years. He struggles with knowing how to treat people with respect when he feels a thing, whether that's he feels jealous, he feels not heard, he feels like he's lacking, whatever that is. I did the same thing forever, so I totally understand him. And one of the things that I had to write out for him was this understanding of like, when you make a thing more important than a person, you are diminishing that person and putting that thing over them. In his case, we were talking about being unkind to your siblings, like saying mean things like, the way you chew is gross, or that shirt is ugly, or you're so dumb. You're putting that, and you're making the dumbness, the chewing, the being ugly, or whatever, you're making that bigger than the person that you say you're in relationship with and that you love.
You're dehumanizing it. And I thought of this example just now. It's like if you're making the thing, right, in kind of air quotes, the thing, say it's like food, like a steak, like this steak is the best, right? And you go to a restaurant and you just barge in the door. You don't say hello. You're not polite. You say, give me a seat. Where's my steak right now? And then you just sit down and hunker down and scarf it down. And then somebody asks you, hey, how's it going? You just like, you just growl.
Shut up. Give me my steak.
You know what I'm saying? So you're completely dehumanizing. You're not looking at the atmosphere of the restaurant, the drive there, anything. You're just uber focused. I thought that luber focused.
That was gross.
Uber focused on that thing, no matter what. Right. So get it together.
No, don't. Okay, our things are broken. Just ignore them. But I think that so think about this. Yeah, just end them. So think about this. You are simply requesting to have sex less and have that sex mean more each time. He is saying, nope, I want to have whatever sex I want. I don't care if you like it or not. I don't care if you're...
Just get ready for it. What's the big deal?
Just get ready, whatever. Just ignore all this because it's screwing you up. Just ignore it. Literally ignore it.
Okay.
So I think what's terrible about that idea is like, think about what you're giving up versus what he's giving up. He's giving up nothing. He's saying, my way or the highway. I'm going to be mad at you. And now I want you to think about this book I'm reading. I just finished it. It's called Nonviolent Communication. It's got the weirdest name ever, but it is such a good book about understanding the sort of deeper need behind people's requests. The deeper need behind people's requests. And if something is a request versus a demand, girl, this man is demanding that you have sex with him every day. This is not a request. A request can or cannot be fulfilled. And if it is a request, you don't lose your crap. Okay. So if I say, Seth, will you do the dishes? That's a request. I'm requesting him to do the dishes. If he says, no, I got to go to work. If it was a real request, I go, okay, cool.
Yeah, makes sense.
I'll see you later. Thanks. Sorry. I wish you could have done them, but I'll see you later.
Thanks.
If it was a command, is that the word I used before? Command?
Demand.
If it was a demand, and I say, can you do the dishes? And he says, no. And I go, you never do the dishes. See the difference? A request can or cannot be answered or responded to, and you're fine.
Or no,
a demand.
A demand is like, hey, do the dishes.
No, it's saying to look at your. So we communicate in requests and demands, but we don't know it. So we will hide a demand in the form of a request. That's what I'm getting at.
I see.
So we will say, oh, I'd really like to have sex tonight. And then our partner says, well, I'm not feeling well. And then you go, oh, you don't love me. You don't care about me. I want sex tonight, right? That's a demand hidden in the form of a request.
Okay.
And when we are demanding things from anybody, our children, our spouse, whoever, we have a problem. Okay, I really want to address that this guy demanding sex every day. This is not a request, it's a demand. If he's mad at you because he doesn't get sex every day, he's demanding it.
But it sounds like he is getting it every day and he's still mad.
I know, that's what I'm getting at. He needs to get counseling. Sir, if your wife is playing this podcast for you and you are having sex with her every single day, when she says it hurts, when she says I don't want to, you need to get therapy.
Right.
Okay? There is something lacking in your spirit. It may have been wounded by an adult when you were a child, a friend when you were a child. You may have been sexually abused and you hadn't told anybody. Go tell a counselor. Do not take the pain that you suffered in your childhood and put it onto your spouse.
Exactly.
In the form of a request.
Right. So you can go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage to get therapy. And so we are not saying that sex every day is bad.
If you both want it,
you both want it, and it's enjoyable, and you find connection, and you find pleasure in it, right? Be flexible. Like this. Oh my goodness, this guy just sounds like super rigid, and I can't imagine what other ways he's rigid. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine being that wife.
I know.
And I'm not trying to make you feel bad, wife, but you are wonderful. You are a wonderful human.
You're strong. You're reaching out, and that's why we want literally to empower you here to be like, hey, things can be different. You are not the abnormal one. And I'm not crashing on your husband. I'm not saying get a divorce or anything. I'm saying, wait a minute. As a therapist, like I've talked to, tens of thousands of hours of counseling. This is not an okay or normal thing, right? Now, I've also had clients that's, they come in and their communication is off. But the sex is great. We have it every single day, and we love it.
And they love it.
And that's okay. So I'm not saying sex every day is bad, right? Sex every day when one partner doesn't want to do it is very bad.
It's the biggest red flag possible.
Oh,
right? Yeah. Especially saying, well, he's angry at me. So I just say yes because he's angry at me. Red flag all over town, red flags, right? And so I think what this husband needs to go do is he needs to get therapy. There's no way around it. There's no other thing. There's no different types of sex, making sex kinkier, making sex more romantic. Nothing is going to heal the wound that this man has. You are not going to heal the wound that this man has. And let me tell you, more is caught than taught. If you have children, they will see his behavior
Mhm.
in all sorts of different ways, and you will have handed it down to your children.
That's right.
Generational curse. Go ahead, here you go. Right?
We
So
don't want that.
I am so thankful that you reached out with this question. This is a lot to deal with.
Mhm.
And I want to just talk to your spirit right now, lady who sent this in. You are being abused. I'm not trying to tell you to get mad at your husband, start yelling at him, start hollering. That is not what this is about.
Mhm.
But you are being put through something that is not intended for you to be put through. I want you to hear me say
Mhm.
that I hear and see your pain and suffering in
That's
this. I cannot imagine if you came at me like that and you said, no, I want to have sex, and I'm like, no, but it hurts. And you were insistent and
Mhm.
persistent and you
Mhm.
got mad at me. Oh man, that is like a trauma.
It wouldn't work.
It would more than not work. I
Right.
would be pieced out long ago.
So I would even encourage this wife, this lady, to go to getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage to talk to someone straight up, like, hey, this is what my husband does.
Mhm.
Is this okay? Tell me what you're thinking.
Tell me what, yeah.
Give me some advice, some empathic listening, something. So getfaithful.com/anatomy of marriage. Lady friend, please go.
Right.
Please.
And I do want to say too, like
Mhm.
this type of, it's like trauma. I mean,
Mhm.
like being subjected to that.
Right.
So why I'm saying that is like, I've had inflammation for a long time and it was mostly diet related, but y'all, this is like loads of TMI, but just bear with me because other ladies have this. I would have what they thought was endometriosis. Then they thought it was endometritis. Then they thought it was all these things. I have literal spleens. It's a whole story. I have baby spleens, spleninules, or accessory
Splenoids.
spleens growing all over my internal organs because my spleen was exploded into my body when I was a kid. I fell off a deck, hit a railroad tie on my stomach. This doesn't even sound real. And my spleen exploded inside my body and grew all over my organs. So I have spleens all over doing all sorts of crazy stuff. And it causes, I have lots of internal intestinal